So thanks for joining in tonight with us. The last time we met in person for a regular BMN meeting was March 2020. That's 3.5 years ago. Time flies. I'm going to just say that. But thank you for leading up to that. Yeah, I did a little check on that. So I just want to say that we might be a little bit rusty. It's always a friendly crowd, but we're in a new place, just trying to work things out here. So it's great having some friendly faces in here. So it has been 6 years since we held meetings in the Como Lake Church. So who actually here remembers being at our meetings in the Como Lake United Church? Most of you. Yeah, that's great. So probably somewhere back in there is about where we used to meet. And as you know, this is a new building. It seems very fabulous. So it's great being back in here. The chairs are coming great. And I don't think we have to move them in and out. No. Yeah. And I know Ivan's here. I'm not sure if the other people are, but thanks so much for all that you've done for us to make us welcome here. The other thing I wanted to thank the King of Life Lutheran Church, where we had our meetings. I think we had them there for almost 3 years. I had this down here. But anyways, in between when we were here before and now, we were at the King of Life Lutheran Church off of Guilford in Coquitlam. So thanks that was our home for a while. So those that are not likely new to the Burke Mountain Naturalists, but my name is Ian MacArthur. I'm the president for a few more months, and I'll be guiding you through this evening. And I really hope we have a fabulous evening. Just a reminder to members that we're a volunteer-run society, and so we rely on our volunteers. So there is a sign-up sheet outside by the display. So if you're interested in helping out with volunteering, please have a look at that. And tonight we have a fabulous presenter, one of our own, Jeff Rudd. Don't snicker, Jeff. That's right. And who put up the great display, if people remember the old sign-off display on TV. So Jeff will be presenting Creatures Along the Coquitlam River. And we'll try and have everybody out here by about 9 p.m., but there will be lots of time tonight for chatting and that. So just to mention a few things, if you probably haven't already seen them out in the foyer, we have a wildlife sightings board, so please add on to it or just have a look and see what's on there. We'll try and talk about some of those things later on. We have the BMN display out there, as well as some bookmarks and pamphlets. And as you came in, we do have the tags for the names. So if you don't have one, please get one at the break. And I do invite people to stick around for what we call the second half of our meeting. So the part that's after our presenter. And 2024 memberships are not due right now, but it will be coming up soon. So you can think about that over the next couple of months, as well as if you're a new member or you'd like to join, you can join now and we'll carry you through the 2024. Membership is $33 for individual and $40 for a family. And tonight, I didn't see it out there, but Edie said she was bringing water. So thank you, Edie, for bringing that. Did you bring the water or did we just use the water here? Okay, just checking. And so next month we'll have our meeting here, which will be on Tuesday, November 14th, and we'll have a film called The Return. It's a 20-minute documentary film from 2020 about that captures the return of the salmon to Burnaby Still Creek. So that should be pretty interesting. And now I'm going to introduce our guest presenter. Be a very short introduction. As you said, a man that needs no introduction. One thing I know about Jeff Rudd, I've hiked with Jeff, been along the Coquitlam River many times. Jeff and I are, I think, the only current members of Coquitlam River Watch, which used to be a group that would walk along the river and record whatever we see. I still walk along the river at least once a month and record what I see. But Jeff is absolutely amazing at finding American dipper nests and hummingbird nests. I'm not sure if you're gonna have any photos of any. Different nests, okay. But he's amazing. Those are two birds that are hard to find their nests, and he's found many for me. So, come on, Jeff, come on up and tell us all about the Coquitlam River.
Well, I was expecting about 6 people tonight, so what do we got? Yeah, great. So you'll have to bear with me with the technology, but we'll do the best we can. So so that's the first hiccup right there. Let's see. And that's the second hiccup. One second here. Where did? Okay, yep. It's a tough crowd. Yeah, okay. Oh, there we are. Great. So I just wanted to start. Well, I just wanted to echo what Ian said. I mean, it's a real privilege for us to be able to meet here. I mean, COVID is still very much an issue, but let's hope that with care, we can continue to meet. And I just want to say thank you for this wonderful new facility. Yvonne over here is our technical wizard. This wouldn't happen without him. And thank you all for coming tonight and for the opportunity to share these experiences along the river. So this is the title of the talk tonight. So it's a bunch of videos, basically, of creatures that are along the Coquitlam River. We have some disclaimers. The first one, it's too long. So when you put something like this together, there's this huge temptation to add just one more thing. I've tried to resist that, but if I do go on too long, let me know. Where I've got about 17 minutes of videos, so with all the talking, that should be about half an hour, so hopefully it's not too long. So the camera. So all but one of the photos and videos in this presentation were taken with this camera. This is a Canon SX720 point and shoot. It's a remarkable camera. It has this phenomenal video stabilization, which makes the videos much more stable than I have any right to expect. I would have expected to do that. In some of the longer shots, the camera does tend to wander a bit, but these are almost all handheld, so be impressed by the quality. Video editing. So I've been taking videos now for about 5 years, and just recently learned how to use the free Windows video editor, which allows you to trim video segments, splice them together. I haven't learned about the sound feature, so the sound is a little bit wobbly, but it's quite fascinating once you try to produce a video to watch nature documentaries and just see how good they are at editing. And the length of the clips and how they fit them together to tell a story is really quite remarkable. So I found that a really interesting aspect. So it's a hodgepodge. It's just a bunch of random videos. There's not much of a theme. The only theme is that they're animals along the Coquitlam River. And finally, the last disclaimer, this is an informal presentation, so please feel free to jump in, make comments. If you want me to repeat a video or hop over one, just say so. So this is a Google Maps of the Tri-Cities. That's where we are tonight, and that's the Coquitlam River. So I'm going to try this laser pointer here. So the low-heat highway is here, and the dam is up here. So most of the videos were taken along the Coquitlam River in this stretch here. In fact, almost all of them. So let's see now, my place is somewhere around here. So most of them are in that area, but from there to there. And so just to set the scene, okay, Yvonne, we're going to try a video now. So we have to turn the sound on for the videos. So, okay. Just to set the scene, this is the Coquitlam River on Sunday. Okay, now. So I've shown this photo before. So this is a great blue heron holding a coho salmon beside Grist Creek. Grist Creek is a tributary of the Coquitlam River, flows from Lafarge Lake to the river. So I watched this heron for about 15 or 20 minutes, wondering what it would do with this coho, because I couldn't imagine that it would be able to swallow this. An adult great blue heron weighs about 5 to 6 pounds. That coho weighs at least 3 pounds, probably more. So if it could swallow it, it would be increasing its body weight by 50%, from 6 pounds to 9 pounds. So the analogy would be for us to swallow a golden retriever. And, you know, I couldn't believe it. So there's this wonderful community of people who walk the river regularly. And there's a woman named Elaine Esteban who is hoping to come tonight, but I don't see her. So we were talking one day, and I showed her this picture, and she pulled out her smartphone and showed me a video of a great blue heron swallowing a live coho. So now, this is a smartphone video taken from some distance. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to blow up the screen. So this is a another technical hurdle. So
That is the river, isn't
yeah, this is Oxbow channel. So let's see, let's see. So are we more or less centered there? Okay, so here goes. And now I'll just, whoa. So oops. The camera tends to wobble a bit, and you have to center the image. So is that large enough to see? Oh. Yeah.
That coho looked a little smaller than the one.
Yeah, but I think it was probably about 3 pounds. That's a guess, but we'll use 3 pounds just for it sounds good, 50%. But you know, I mean, there's 6 pounds is a lot to fly, so it's probably impossible for it to fly till it digests that. So, yeah. Oh, now here I have to go back to. There we are. Okay, we're back to normal size now. So the next series of videos is about spawning coho in Maple Creek. So Maple Creek is a tributary of the Coquitlam, just right here. So it starts up near Guilford and enters the Coquitlam River down opposite Gates Park. And a short distance upstream of where it joins the Coquitlam, right about there, is the Coquitlam is diked. And a dike with a creek passing under it isn't terribly effective as a dike. So what happens is when the Coquitlam River rises, there's a large metal flap that covers Maple Creek, which prevents Maple Creek from flowing through the dike and prevents the Coquitlam River from flowing up and flooding Maple Creek. but Maple Creek keeps flowing, and so what happens is the city, POCO has put in some pumps. This is the upstream side of the dike. This is Maple Creek, it would flow through here, and these are pumps, which when the gate is closed, these pumps act and pump the water from Maple Creek over the dike. And this is the downstream side. So the gate is actually right in here. And this is Maple Creek down here under normal circumstances. This is Maple Creek when the atmospheric river took place in November of 2021. Maple Creek here is about 8 feet higher than it was there. Just incredible. So spawning salmon come up the Coquitlam River. They come up Maple Creek. This powerful urge to travel upstream. The only flow, they can't get through the dike because the gate is closed. So they see this water here and they interpret that as the flow of the river. And so, Yvonne, video. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Okay, so as I said, it was a hodgepodge. So we're now on to western toads. I really like toads. There's something very appealing about a toad. This fellow is very cooperative in having his photo taken. Oh, this fellow, oh, I don't know about that big. No, you can sneak up on them quite easily. So this is a gallery of a few of the many toads encountered. It's really quite interesting, the variations in color and patterns. Fascinating creatures. Yeah, those are all western toads, yeah. You can't tell the sizes, but this one down here is quite small relative to this one. This is full grown. So this toad here is the star of the next video. You can see he's looking very intently at this root of this alder tree. So there's an alder tree growing up here, and there's an ant nest just down here. So Yvonne, a video? Okay. So the nest is just down here. There's an ant. So I didn't know toads ate ants, but.
So the other thing is to mention, like the western toads migrate, like the little tiny ones, right?
Right. Yeah.
And Minicata.
Yeah. Certainly in Minicata, you see hundreds of little tiny ones. Yeah. So I'm assuming that they actually, I don't know where they lay their eggs. It must be in water, and then they migrate into the forest. Yeah. So if you go to Minicata, right time of year, you have to be very careful where you walk because there's so many of them on the trails. So now we'll have a sequence of 4 videos about mammals. So this is a Douglas squirrel. So this is about a 2-minute walk from my place. And I was just walking along the trail, and it was right there in front of me. So I froze and just put the camera on him. and about 3 feet. He was literally right there. And so I was trying to do it because I couldn't go down and take a picture. So this is a river otter, and this is in one of the oxbow ponds on the east side of the river near Lincoln and Shaughnessy. I'm always impressed by the tail of these creatures. It's just so... Yeah. And so this is, Coho Creek Pond is on the east side of the river, the upper river close to the watershed boundary, but not actually in the watershed. It was man-made habitat as coho off-channel habitat, but it's home to many other animals, including, so there was actually a family of beavers. I saw 2 of them this day, but I could only get a video of the one of them. Oh, we don't have sound. I'm not sure that there is sound on this one. The beaver's pretty quiet. Oh, there we go. Okay, so watch. The beaver gets startled, and it'll flap its tail and dive. And if you watch very closely, you can actually see it underwater. It's right about... So one of the features of the video editor is you can do slow motion. So yeah, so watch just right underneath. It stays here for quite a while, and then it just swims over. Let's see, there it is right there. And these are, this is just south of the mouth of Pritchett Creek, which is where Crystal Falls is. So that must be a mother and a youngster. I think. That's the camera wandering. Okay. So now we'll switch from mammals to birds. And so we got a sequence of different species of birds having baths in the river. So this was a juvenile, a little chick, very tentative. On the shafting on the feathers, yeah. And then this is a northern flicker, a juvenile, having a dust bath. So this is a trail near my place, and they do this on a regular basis. Does anybody know why birds have dust baths? Mites? Okay. And now, so this is a northern flicker nest, which is actually visible from my front door, but you have to walk about 30 seconds to get the picture. So there was a squirrel in the upper part. So there were 4 chicks when it started. This was cut. Yeah, the city took down a bunch of trees, and fortunately they left them as wildlife snags. How do you fit 4 flicker chicks in a hole that big? So there's the parent is just up here. So I don't know what happened to the other 2 chicks in the interim, but there's only 2 chicks on this day. And that's actually the chick calling right there. Yeah, they're very close to fledging. So it's interesting that there's 2 chicks, but the parent only feeds one of them. And so the other one gets a little bit choked by that, I think. This is. Away it goes. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So this is the final segment here. So we'll be through by 8:30 instead of 9. Okay. Yeah, this is my favorite bird. My second favorite bird. My favorite bird is Nicholas, Susan's parrot. But anyhow, one of the wonderful things about this particular bird, it's the only aquatic songbird in North America, but it's possible to follow an American dipper for a long period of time. With a hummingbird, you might see it for a couple of minutes and then it's gone. Any other bird, a few minutes. But on one occasion, I managed to follow a single dipper for about an hour as it flew up the river, and I would scuttle up along, catch up with it, and fly back down. I'd run along, I'd catch up. So for a whole hour, I managed to see it feeding and preening. And so we're going to have a sequence of videos here which are various aspects of dipper behavior, and then we'll end up with a scene of a nest. Okay, Yvonne, video. So dippers spend a lot of time standing. They just stand by the river. And then they do what they're named for, which is dipping. They sure can, yeah. They spend a lot of time preening. Some incredible amount of time preening. They spend a lot of time in the water, so preening's important. When I was a kid, I was told by somebody who should have known that they do it to get stereoscopic vision. And I believe that, and I still sort of almost believe it now. I don't think it's true. I'm not sure that anybody really knows why they dip. Yep. They have this beautiful song, absolutely wonderful song. And you can really see the eyelid with the white feathers on there. So they spend a lot of time foraging. So preening and foraging are probably their three main activities. They have several different foraging strategies. So in one form, they just basically walk down the river edge, looking for bugs in among the rocks and in the shallows. They mainly eat aquatic invertebrates, salmon fry, salmon eggs. They spend a lot of time just sort of paddling down the river, and they're checking poking the head in the water, just looking for bugs on the bottom. And that water is cold. So watch him here. He'll dive, and you can see him underwater. So they actually fly underwater. And there's a salmon egg. So they often have to sort of subdue their threat. Now here, Ian, what you were saying about holding on to slippery rocks. And then they have these little sort of hop dives where they hop and they dive into the water. And it's incredible, isn't it? So they're actually subduing their prey when they shake it like that, so they can get it down a little easier. When they catch caddisflies, they have to get the larvae out of the shell, so they give it a good shake until they. Then they do these short flights into the river and back, and then they do longer flights into the river and back. And at certain times of the year, they spend time interacting. So I'm pretty sure this is a female here, and that's the male, but not 100%. And this is the same two birds a couple of minutes later. This is under the David Avenue Bridge. And then there's actually a third bird off to the side, so this might be two males, but I don't know.
You're catching just a little bit of the call that you hear when they fly.
Yeah.
So identifiable when you're on the river.
So now, dipper nest right there. So I came across this dipper nest in towards the end of April, and tried to get. This is up near the watershed boundary, the gate to the watershed. So the grist hatchery is just upriver, quarter of a mile. So I tried to get up there as often as I could. So this is a sequence of shots taken on the day that the first chick. There are 3 chicks in the nest, and this is the day that the first chick left the nest. So it's a long sequence here. I'll just let it go. I'm just practicing my video editing here. So the dipper, the parent is here. And one thing I find incredible is that they can feed the chicks in that incredibly short period of time when you compare that with how long it took the flicker to feed the youngster. is, yeah. So the nests are actually a mossy, there's a nest inside that sort of ball of moss, conventional kind of cup moss. So I missed this bird coming out of the nest, but this is his first time out of the nest. And he's pretty tentative. So the adults work incredibly hard when the chicks are at this stage. They're feeding the birds every 2 or 3 minutes. And both adults feed the chicks. And then our little fellow's out here again. So he climbed on top of the nest, and he spent, I have about 3.5 minutes of video of him standing there. And I kept hoping that he'd fly off, but he wouldn't. He just was a little bit tentative. And doing what dippers love to do, preening. Now, he picks up a stick here, so unfortunately I had to leave. And it hadn't left the nest yet, or it hadn't flown off, so anyhow. I went up the next day and all 3 chicks had left. So, anyhow, so thank you.
I think she takes the questions.
Oh,
I have one anyway.
oh, fire away.
So I know I've been out and seen the dipper nests with you and that, but have you figured out if they take the nests apart or if they just abandon them and something else takes them apart?
I think something else takes them apart. There's some nests that I've seen used 3 years in a row that were well protected.
They stay well.
Yeah, but the nest consists of this sort of ball of moss with a conventional cup nest inside. And what they do is they actually take the old nest out, or at least the ones that was reused, and rebuild a new nest inside. So if you look underneath the nest, and this one that was reused many times, you could see underneath the nest, and you could see the little pieces of the old nest on the bottom. And for those ones, actually, the shells were underneath the nest. So I have them at home. Yeah, yeah.
How do the herons digest that fish?
I wish I knew.
And how does the gizzard sort of work within that game?
Is there a bird expert here? I can't imagine trying to digest that. It's just, it hasn't chewed it at all, so.
I saw at the UBC at the faculty club years ago, they had all these great big goldfish, and the herons came down, and in a matter of weeks, they cleaned out all the fish. And they grab a fish just like the size that you're talking about. They jump on the ground on the lawn before they swallow it. Swallowed head first, and then just amazing.
Yeah.
And they cleared out all the fish in down in a couple of weeks, and that was the end of it.
Amazing.
We learned how.
Yeah.
But do they have a gizzard too? Don't all birds have gizzards? So you have to swallow it past the gizzard and then regurgitate it back into the gizzard? How does that work?
Yeah, Google, yeah. Yeah.
Do they actually build the mossy part as well, or do they just burrow at the end of the road?
No, they build the mossy part as well. Yeah. Yeah, it's an incredibly intricate kind of thing. I mean, I can't imagine how birds build nests without opposable thumbs and. Yeah. Oh, Jay, yeah.
That dipping behavior is interesting. There are a number of predators their head up and down like that.
Okay.
And also I've seen hummingbirds when it was perched. They're moving its head up and down.
Oh, interesting.
And sideways too. And it must have something to do with vision.
It's
I don't know why some birds do it and others not. I would want just to add that our eyes are in constant motion. The image is never stationary on the retina. And if it was stationary, the image would disappear. So they always, in our eyes anyway, it doesn't have to move in order for the image to be visible. Maybe before
so it could be.
I don't know why the birds do it, because maybe they don't have a six-static movement that human eyes do.
Interesting.
Well, the bird's eyes barely move, do they? Don't they? They're fixed.
Oh, Lori.
Did you ever see the dippers walking on the bottom?
Yes.
They can do that.
Yeah.
And is that a second eyelid they have, that white part?
Yeah, it's actually got small white feathers on it. And there's a technical name for it, a nictitating membrane. Yeah. So, yeah.
Now, were you standing in the river or on the bank?
On the bank. Yeah. Well, for this one, I was sitting with the camera on my knee. So, yeah. 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 Well, thank you very much.
The other thing with the dippers that you found is they sometimes have a nest behind a waterfall, like a
Yes.
low waterfall.
Yeah. So they can be very difficult to. I was tempted to put in the footage of the dippers flying through, but I thought we had enough here. Next year. Yeah, great. Okay, well, thank you.
So I think we'll just take a little bit of a break. Time's 8:15, maybe 10 or 15 minutes, and then we'll come back and just have a few announcements, and then we'll finish up with people just chatting or whatever. So,
Great.
have a drink or have a look at the displays. And think about any wildlife sightings and add them to our board. Or